Crossroads of history, forged by centuries of conflict, is a place once believed to be the center of the world. Jerusalem.
What a view there, and breathtaking images as you just saw. It's all part of a new movie taking a look at the city of Jerusalem. Canadian filmmaker Daniel Ferguson examines one of the world's oldest cities through the eyes of three young women who represent the three main religious groups in the city. Jerusalem set to open next week at the Ontario Science Centre in Toronto. And joining us right now is producer-director Daniel Ferguson. He's with me in studio. Good to see you. They are breathtaking images. What did you manage to capture, and how did you capture those scenes?
Well, we were very fortunate on this film. We got exceptional access. I think that people are going to see a portrait of Jerusalem and, in fact, the Holy Land that they could never otherwise see as a tourist. We were allowed to fly at low altitudes over some of the most sensitive places on Earth.
Yeah, how did you manage that?
Well, we had an incredible crew on this film. We had an Israeli crew, an international crew, a Canadian crew, a Palestinian crew, and we just kept shuffling, working with governments and security forces and everything. And these aerials, they haven't been filmed in over 25 years. And so we worked with some of the best Israeli pilots and photographers. For example, we got access to the mosque and the Western Wall here. And I think these are things that really will take people to Jerusalem in a very visceral way. I mean, that's what's great about IMAX. It's
right.
Just, you really feel like you're traveling to the Holy Land.
Yeah. So what is the story that you've managed to capture and tell here?
Well, Jerusalem obviously has so many different narratives, and there are so many groups that are attached to the city. We thought it would be novel to look at three young women who've grown up in the city, Jewish, Christian, and Muslim women aged 15 to 18, and let them tell their stories about what it's like, what's special to them, how do they relate to one another, for example. And it's been wonderful. I've learned so much from each of them. It's really changed my view of the city.
You know, just looking at the images, it seems beautiful, peaceful. You're awestruck at some of the footage that we're watching, but we know this is, you know, a place that clashes continue almost on a daily basis, right? And a fierce fight over Jerusalem.
Oh, very much so.
How did you take that and manage to navigate through all that, through the politics, through all the security concerns, and be able to tell this story, which at the heart is a beautiful story? I mean, what is the story? Well,
the story ultimately is how each of these young women relates to the city. And we thought it was important to sort of take a step back and look at the roots of the universal attachment to the city. I mean, why do the Jews love Jerusalem? Why do the Christians love Jerusalem? Why do the Muslims love Jerusalem? And even for a secular person, if you're not religious, why is Jerusalem important to you?
And?
So much of our culture comes from Jerusalem.
Yes.
You don't even think about it. Our songs, our literature, our poetry, our paintings, so much of our mythology comes from this place. And I think we all relate to this place in some way. We're all curious.
Right. And as knowledgeable as you must have been going into this, of course, and we can appreciate that, was there something that struck you, some unexpected discovery or something that really...
Oh,
it's
absolutely.
going to be a pleasure to uncover for those who go see this.
Well, I think, look, Jerusalem is a revelation. It's completely surprising. I made 14 trips there. I moved my family there. I feel like I barely scratched the surface.
Really?
It's so rich. To travel underground in Jerusalem, to meet the people. I mean, that really was the revelation for me, the people who live there.
So for people who want to see this, how can they do that, just quickly?
Well, this is playing across Canada, actually. It's in Edmonton. It's launching in Sudbury soon, at other Canadian cities. It's playing in Ottawa, and of course it opens at the Ontario Science Centre on March the 7th.
Right.
So please do and see it on the big screen. It really is unlike anything that you can see.
It is breathtaking. Daniel Ferguson, we appreciate it. Thanks so much.
Thank you for having me.